The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
It's 10 a.m. on a Thursday here at the Star in Frisco. And you know what that means? It's an hour and a half away from Mix Shots. No, it is an early edition of Mix Shots here inside the SWBC podcast studio because this is an OTA open to the media Thursday. And so that's why we're coming at you earlier than usual. Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and the star of the show, Mickey Spagnola.
Of the show. Oh, my God. Have you ever been introduced
He's
like
the headliner.
No. I don't think I've ever had the star of the show.
And it's so shocking. My headphones are cracking up right now.
That's a good one.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah, very good.
There looks like you're going to be outdoors today.
Yes.
On it's a first alert weather day tomorrow. It's going to get so hot here in North Texas.
Did I see triple digits?
I think so.
Yeah,
and
did.
it feels
Yes,
like
it did.
temperature up around 106 in the afternoon tomorrow.
So they're
That's
finishing.
the index? That's the heat index?
I think so. I think that's what they
So
call
they're
it.
finishing this OTA session just in time.
That's right. Yeah.
Because it's only supposed to be like 93 maybe today.
Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
but we're talking heat index. That's a whole
Feels
different
great
thing.
out there right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I'm looking at 100
But
and
the
100
humidity
tomorrow.
is
100
getting ready
tomorrow,
to
100
kick
Saturday.
up. Yeah.
100 Sunday.
Welcome to Texas in June.
Welcome to the Old Folks Podcast. Yeah, we're talking about the weather. Come on, guys. What are we doing here?
Okay, speaking of the weather, it is just in time because the high today is 92, the high tomorrow is 101, Saturday 102, Sunday 102, Monday 100. I'm getting to the mini camp next week, okay? Highs of 99, 97, and 96. Getting ready for Austin and training camp.
They might be going indoors.
They might be.
And by the way, they do have an OTA
option
tomorrow.
back in
And
the
yes,
day.
there is.
Yeah, they have one
That's right.
tomorrow.
There is an OTA tomorrow, and so
By
that's
the way,
when
Mick.
the heat is coming. But we're not out there tomorrow, so that doesn't count.
So we can't
media's
come
not
see
out
it tomorrow if we wanted to?
Oh, I didn't think there was tomorrow.
There is an OTA tomorrow.
OTA number 8.
The
Yep.
OTA.
Can we attend, Chris?
Yep,
Can we
the
attend?
You sit up with
no.
Mick.
No, you cannot.
You go sit up with Mickey.
Not
You already
technically.
attended one you weren't supposed to be at.
Yeah, I know, right?
He walks out there
He gets
like,
special privileges.
he acted like he set some sort of
Everson Walls.
franchise record or something, right?
Yeah. So he's got those special privileges.
Speaking of Trevon Diggs, so they had the home run derby, and he said they asked him, when's the last time you swung a bat? And he said, never. I go, what do you mean never? It's like he said he never played baseball.
He never played baseball?
And so the first time up, yeah, he was like missing the ball or whatever. Second time up, he started hitting the ball over the faux fence for home runs, right? And it's like, God, I wish I was that great
Just
of an
that
athlete.
kind of guy.
right?
Just that guy. Oh, never done this before. What
And
is this?
then don't even get me started on Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that's right.
Guys,
far did that go?
unbelievable.
He hit it out of
one
the-
400, like out of the park.
Here's what happened, Everson. He gets there and they take some batting
To be
practice.
young and amazing.
They had bats for them at batting practice, whatever. He didn't like the feel of the bat, so he went to.
No, he sent somebody.
Well, yeah, he sent somebody to get him a $500 bat.
He told the guy, whoever was going to do it, go to Dick's and get
Yeah, I
me
was
the,
going to say, we were going to
get
Academy
me the
Sports,
best-
Diggs, where we going?
get me the best bat they have. And he found a $500 bat, right? And then he gets up there, and he hadn't played. He said he used to play baseball,
Okay.
but when he got to high school, it was football and track, so he didn't play baseball. Not only did he hit it over the makeshift fence for home runs so
Which
they
is
could hit
lined up in
some,
the outfield.
probably 225, 250, something like that. He hit it over the wall, right? And then he hit it out of the park. And
Where is this? This is
at
At
Frisco.
Ryder's Field, right
Ryder's
here.
Field.
Where the
Ryder's
We're
double A.
talking double A.
Wow!
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I've been to that
Right.
stadium. Great stadium.
So,
Great stadium. Good
and
for
what
families.
people, the amazing thing is No one's throwing 95 miles an hour, right? You got to supply the power yourself when they're throwing a BP lob at you, right? And he, not only is he stepping into it, he's stepping in with both feet. Like he's moving his back foot forward
so
and
he's
his
a
front
Happy
foot forward.
Gilmore.
Yes.
He's doing a Happy Gilmore in baseball.
Exactly.
That's
And
crazy.
I told somebody, I said, I wish I knew his exit velocity. You know how they have exit velocity now off the bat on TV?
Of course.
And it's like
You need a ray gun.
He hit a combination the first time up. They'll get 10 outs, right? If you don't get the ball out of the infield or you miss or foul, it's an out, right? He hit 8 home runs, and 4 of them cleared the real fence. And I'm sitting there going, "Are you
So
kidding
did he
me?"
like like the Happy Gilmore? Did he like skip to it? Did he ran into it? You know what I mean?
A couple he did.
Yeah.
And then when he hit it out of the park, he ran around the bases.
Real fast.
Oh, run trot.
No, just one run
he
trot,
had that
right?
kind of
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He had the Barry Bonds.
And then he was going to do it again, and Dak was like, "No, we got time here. You got to hit, right?" And so when it's over, he ended up with the most home runs, 13.
Except he finished in third place.
But he finished in third place because of the money. So Leighton Vander Esch on the money ball on the last swing.
There you go.
He hit a home run.
Like
He
the
hit a home run.
Like the 3-point contest.
And
That's
he
like
got-
Josh Hamilton put on this great home run derby exhibition
Right,
at
and
the
then
stadium,
didn't win.
but people don't remember he didn't win it.
And so the last ball was worth $4,000 for donation,
Nice,
right?
nice.
And Vander Esch hit that. So Vander Esch ended up with like 17,000, and Micah ended up with 13. But so as the
Vander Esch wasn't
story
messing around now.
So as the story goes, when Micah said, "Oh, I can hit the ball out of the park," and who was saying it? Trevon. CD said, he goes, all the vets were like, "You can't do that. You're not going to hit it over the wall." And he goes, "Yes, I will.
Yeah.
You want to bet?" So they all started betting, right? And CD said, the only people that were on his side was me and Trey. He goes, "We thought he could do it."
Yeah.
He did it, right?
Of course he did.
He said he made $8,000.
How dare they doubt this guy? I would never doubt Michael Parsons. If he said he's going to do
So
something,
when he
can
did
do
his
it.
interview, he goes, just to show you what a competitor I am, he goes, "I wanted to win, so I was going to get a good bat if it meant spending $500.
I have a feeling he did not need the good bat.
Right?
Yeah, he could have done it without the good bat.
And so somebody said, "Did you let other people use it?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, sure." It's like, well, it wasn't the bat then, was it? It was
Good
hilarious.
stuff,
The
man.
guy, and I wrote about it for this morning, it's like he just puts a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You know, everything he does, everything he says, he just puts a smile on your face.
Well, I tell you, the smile I get on my face is every time I think about him going out to do the drop. The hockey,
Oh, the hockey thing?
I'm sorry, guys.
And he just went out and dropped it.
He's so cute. He was so cute. He's just like, hey, there you go.
He said, so I didn't realize this. Evidently, he did some sort of charity thing in Philadelphia, and they did it with a softball, and he hit it 400 feet, the softball. Mm-hmm. And he said, I told these guys, I said, come on, I hit a softball 400 feet. This is a baseball.
Right.
It's going to go further. Sure enough, he hit one 400 feet.
Oh, that's funny.
Unbelievable. But they raised a heck of a lot of money for Salvation Army. Anthony Brown finished second, by the way. And the first time up, he couldn't hit. He just couldn't. See, if you don't take batting, you don't hit. It's hard to, you know.
It's hard
and
to
then
hit.
his second time around, all of a sudden, he starts stroking the ball.
Well, he's an athlete. They're
Yeah,
athletes. Yeah, that's
it's
all
amazing. Yeah. So anyway, it was a good time, and
That's what I came away with, though, from that is, again, I want Micah Parsons in my room.
Right.
I want Micah Parsons
Whatever
on my
you're
I don't care
playing.
what we're doing.
Right.
I'm picking him.
So you know what? It reminded me of when he was young, the first time somebody took him to go bowling, and he wasn't very good at it, he said. So he went and bought a ball. He bought himself his own ball and went out there and was going to start practicing.
He is not going to
right?
be embarrassed.
Because he
right?
lost to somebody.
Yeah.
And he said the guy at the bowling alley goes, okay, let me give you a few tips. So the guy gave him a few tips. He bought his ball, and all of a sudden he's
Mr. 300.
He's the best one. Yeah. And the other thing it reminded me of, and Bill might remember, you guys might remember this, when they had the first NBA All-Star game here in Dallas in 1986. That was the first year they had the three-point shooting contest and the dunk contest. Spud Webb ended up winning it. Well, the three-point shooting contest, Larry Bird was one of the guys, and I was covering this. So he goes into the locker room, and all the guys in there are going to shoot threes are all in there. And he walks in, he goes, we know who's winning this, so I'm just looking to see who's second.
That's what he said.
And he
That's
won.
what he said.
And he
Who's
won.
getting second?
Yeah, and he
That's
won.
what he said. Who's getting second? And he won with the little broken finger. He had the little crooked finger. When he put that one up there, that was the last one he shot.
Right.
And that was the money ball. And he had that little broken finger.
And they got into the final.
I don't think he took his sweats off, did he?
They got into the final round. He made it to the finals with Craig Hodges, right? He buried 22 threes in the final round to win it.
I don't think he took his
So that's
sweats off.
it reminded me of that.
Well, all right. This is great because we're talking about Micah. I want Micah on my team. Okay. I want Larry Bird on my team.
Right.
Okay. Magic Johnson was another one like that. I mean, this is with the NBA Finals going on. Magic's rookie year. He's 20 years old. It's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. In Game 5, Kareem had scored 40 points, and he sprains his ankle. And here's a 20-year-old rookie who said, and they're going to Philadelphia playing Dr. J, Daryl Dawkins, and the Sixers in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. We need a center. Magic?
Yeah.
And so Magic, he plays center, and he scores 42 points with 15 rebounds. But he went on that court knowing he's going to win this basketball game. Yeah, Larry
Kareem's
Bird
at home waiting. Okay, we're going to be the Game 7. Let me get ready.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take it easy, big fella. I got this.
Micah shows up at a home run derby. He knows he's going to win that home run derby. I mean, those are Reggie Jackson in baseball.
Yeah.
When he walked on the field, he knew he was going to win that. He's going to hit 3 home runs in a World Series game and whatever.
I'm not surprised at all when he did it.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so on those Cowboys teams that you played on. Okay, who was the guy like that? That was the guy that we got this guy on our team. We got it.
Dorsett.
Really?
Tony Dorsett, man. I mean, we forget about Dorsett, and we forget about how small he was. Ron used to tease him. He was barely 5'9" at all times. He always tried to make himself bigger and heavier. He wore every pad that known to the NFL, and he still had the speed. From standing still to the first step, he had to be the fastest. Because when you see him run, you always see people. It's like so many people in his wake, because they think they have the angle, and not many guys can outrun an angle. That's how I make my living is catching guys on an angle. It wasn't the speed. It was I anticipated the angle, and I'm going to meet him up there. And they thought they were doing the same thing, and he just outruns the angle. And to see that over and over again, he was my LeBron. He was my Jordan. He was my guy. You just look forward to it.
There was a guy in at least one season in college who is that same type guy playing a different position. That was Vince Young at Texas.
Yeah.
Where it didn't matter whether they fell behind Oklahoma State 30-0 in the first half. They are going to come back in that game, and it's going to be Vince Young, taking off, drop back the pass, and then just taking off and running. And then they're in the national championship game, and it comes down to the last play of the game, and you just knew. Yes. Everybody in the building knew that, he's going to drop back, and then he's going to take off, and there's nobody's going to catch him.
They didn't even touch him.
Right.
He never got touched on the most important play of the game.
He had that same air about him that Micah Parsons had at the home run derby. That I'm going to win this game.
He's amazing, and then when he verbalizes it, right, it even makes you laugh even more, right? It's like, does he think of this stuff ahead of time? Like the analogies.
It's kind of about naive the way he talks about it.
Yes, yeah. Like, I'm supposed to do this.
Right.
And I'm going to hit home runs, and by God, he did. It was amazing.
But when you think about guys like Parsons, to be around that kind of greatness, first of all, you're around a lot of great athletes here and players that are extremely accomplished, whether it's here and early on. But like I said, to know that that this is going to happen, it's inevitable. this is going to happen. Dorsett's going to break it. I don't care how many times you bottle him up. You got to do it every time. And they really never bottled him up every time. Eventually, he's going to hit it. And it's so funny. Tom looked forward to that. That's how he coached the game. Just let Dorsett get it. Once he gets it, then we're going to take over the momentum of the game. And it usually happens just like that.
You know, and the Dorsett thing, and if people don't understand what we're talking about, just go call up his highlights. And it reminded me every time when I see his highlights how fast he was, like instantly.
But it wasn't just speed; he could maneuver as well.
But he was
what
so
you liked about
fast, and it wasn't like he needed 10 yards to get going.
He did not.
It was like instant.
He did not.
It was like pushing the button on the game, right?
Yes, that's what's got it. That 0 to 100, boom, he's already there. I'm like, wow. I just used to sit on the sidelines. Now I'm ready to get some picks now because they're desperate. Didn't know that Dorsett's going to break another one, so now we have to keep up with that offense. And, man, that's when Randy's coming, Harvey's coming, Ed's coming. Now we're out there feasting in the back. It was all perfect.
I saw a guy like that in high school. And you might remember Gary Anderson, running back.
Sure. Yes.
When he was in high school in Columbia, Missouri.
I heard about this.
He, football, basketball. First time I saw a guy,
I did not know what a good basketball player was until I read about it.
He first guy I saw leave the free throw line and dunk, right? He took off from there. Track, 100, 200, long jump, relays, and maybe his best event was the 400. He hated the 400 because you got to practice for it.
My dad said if you can run the 400,
right?
You can do anything in the world.
So the track coach, it was at Hickman High. Track coach told them when they were in the regional and they need to get more guys qualified for state, and he told them, okay, I won't make you run the 400 through the whole season, but when we get to regionals and we need to qualify for state, I want you to run the 400. So that year, it was his senior year. He hadn't run the 400 all year. He ran the 400 and won the darn thing. And it's like, have you ever run a 400 before to understand how hard that is?
I mean, it's a sprint.
And his
yes,
he was so athletic. It's like he was just a stallion. The way he ran, his legs were never behind him. His knees were always in front.
Yeah.
That's when he just ran like he was the wind.
And he went to Arkansas and had one heck of a career, and I think the Chargers.
Yes.
Chargers, first-round pick of the Chargers.
Pick, right? He did that cause problems at Missouri? Because his mom worked in one of the cafeterias at the school, and he chose Arkansas instead of Missouri, and they had the press conference in her cafeteria.
No, that's cruel. Oh, come on, son.
And it was a new coach, too.
Oh, come on, son. You can't do that, man. You got to give moms a heads up on this one because we got this all set up for us.
Yeah. So anyway, but he was one of those guys that you're talking about. Whatever sport it was, he's going to beat you.
And the other part of it, like with Micah and Trevon for that matter, is when they can do it like immediately in their career. The rookie year, Micah comes in and is able to do what he can. That's amazing.
Well, you'll love this about Trevon, and you can talk about your little deal you did with him. But so he comes to do his little thing, and somebody said, "Well, what do you need to improve on this year?" And he said, "Oh, well, everything." And somebody asked him, he goes, "So, got to take fewer chances?" And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about, chances.
Exactly.
And they go, well, gambling on stuff. He goes, I don't take chances. I play football.
Yeah.
And I said, good for you, right? And he kind of gave a smile, but it was sort of a smile like, okay, take that, right? And they're right. Everybody, see, what happens on TV is they see him get beat, and it's like he took a chance.
Right.
No, sometimes you just get beat.
That guy gets paid over there too.
Right?
Yeah.
You get beat. And the guy puts a good move on you. It wasn't like you were going for a pick, right? Or I think the insinuation is the reason he had so many picks because he's guessing.
He's guessing.
Right.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he's not. He just
Been there, done that.
got beat.
right. Just get beat.
But he took a little exception to chances. I thought that was good.
So what were you alluding to with Everson and Trevon? What are you talking about?
Well, Everson, why don't you explain to us?
Why don't we do that when we come back here on Next Shots? We already killed 20 minutes.
Better not go anywhere.
There was an interfacing between Everson and Trevon. Is that what you're saying?
A little longer than the one you put together.
Okay.
Interfacing, that's kind of sounds sloppy.
Well, Everson will clear it all up when we come back here on Mix Shots.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Cape Post Roofing and Waterproofing, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. From corporate homes to your home, have your roof checked by choice, not by chance. Call now, 214-225-4860, kpostcompany.com, Bill.
All right, and we got so much to get to over the final 40 minutes as we get you set for an open media day here at the Star in Frisco, as the Cowboys have an OTA today, another one tomorrow, and then it's minicamp week next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But let's and we're going to talk some Dalton Schultz coming up here. We're going to talk positions of some concern as we hit the summer months here. But let's get started here with Everson and Trevon.
Yeah, we had a nice little get-together. It was put together by, I guess, Blue Star Productions. They wanted to talk about, just have a little documentary. I guess you call it a
That's
documentary.
What it is. That's what it's going to be.
Dang, it's a documentary.
Yeah.
That's
Deep Blue, it's called.
Deep Blue.
Thank you, Christopher.
Coming very soon.
You're getting docked.
Yes, that's cool stuff, man. So, yeah, we just kind of talk about the similarities between our, really lack of similarities between our careers as we got started. And it was all about leading up to those 11 interceptions, 1981, and his 11 interceptions this past season. 40 years later, 11 picks. I thought he was going to get it.
Yeah.
He didn't play that last game. I think he was doing me a favor. I don't know. I don't think he wanted that. He didn't want that. It's too much pressure to carry around those 11 interceptions for 40 years.
He wanted the TV networks to talk about Everson for another year when he makes another run at the mark this year.
Which he said he is going to do.
Yeah, right.
He said he's going to make another run at 11. I told him to go with God because he will never be able to get the NFL rookie interception record.
That's right.
I told him, you can have the rest of it. You can take those 40 years off my back. I will see you later. But when it comes to that NFL rookie record, That's something I can hang my hat on. That's right.
Did they have some videos so he could see your interceptions?
No, we didn't do any of that, but it was a lot of just, posing and picture taking and posturing, and, we had to come up and shake each other's hands. You guys will see it. Pretty good. The guys were very good at how they did it. I hated all the, how it is. You got to do the 1 take and 2 take. Hey, we'll try it again. Yeah, but it was fun. And the last time we did it, he's a sharp young man. He's just very shy. But he's a sharp young man. The last time we greeted each other, he made it look better than the previous 3 times that we did it, and it really kicked off the entire documentary. He did a good job. It's like pulling teeth out of him, though, to get him to talk sometimes.
He doesn't. Yeah,
but so he's not like you in that respect.
No, I definitely did all the talking.
he's the unwalls.
I definitely did all the talking and kind of maneuvering the interview a certain way. But they did a great job because, when it came to the questions, it was pretty organic on things we talked about and what it led to. I don't think it was strained at all because, the questions were so direct and poignant, to where it went directly to what the director was trying to do. And we just had a lot of fun catching up, and really my first time meeting him face-to-face. It's my first time meeting him face-to-face. I'm happy to say I'm just as tall as he is. That's what I can say. I'm just as tall as he is. I thought I was shrinking. Yeah. I'm not shrinking yet. I was right there. I kept stretching my neck, when I was standing next to him. So
it's like 6'1's got to be 6'1".
Yeah, I think
right?
he was slouching, but I was like, straight up. Yeah.
Okay, so he's not like you as far as an outgoing personality. How is he like you as a football player?
Well, we thought, just as we start talking about the things that we see when we play, yes, it's we go down the same path. We can go down the same path hand in hand, talking about the same things, because it was all about the instincts that you have. The question that they asked him, you kind of anticipate those questions and you get offended because it sounds like they're trying to say you're guessing, and you don't come about 11 interceptions by just guessing. And the plays that you give up, it's not because you went after an interception. Sometimes the play that you gave up because that guy on the other side was balling that day or that play. And when it comes down to it, many guys get beat, but does the quarterback see it?
Right.
You see, that's what you're worried about. You can get beat a lot, but does the quarterback see that? And that's a lot of times you miss that in the game. We talked about how, you have the ability at an early age to be successful. That's something a lot of people really just don't experience. I came out, of course, my rookie year. I'm leading the league with I'm not even starting, and I'm leading the league from the bench. Well, here it is. This guy steps out, and you expect that from him. But here it is. You're catching up with a number that hadn't been done in 40 years. So you don't really think about it as you're doing it. It just becomes part of your DNA as you're playing. And we just kind of talked about how instinctive that was, how you're not going out there looking for it. You're just going out there, as he said, and playing football.
Right?
And that's just the way it was.
And it's amazing in our business. Somebody should write this book, the Book of Assumptions, right? Because people just assume things, right? And you got to ask that question, right? So if you remember midway through the season or whatever, and it's like, well, do you think quarterbacks are going to quit throwing your way, right? Because you're intercepting the pass. Well, if you put him or you on the best receiver, the other team's not going to say, I'm not throwing to my best receiver.
That's right.
Right? He's my money man. I'm coming after that guy, right? Yeah. You got to cover.
And the thing with that was, I did the talking on that one was, you're going to be on the best receiver. You know they're going to throw it to that best receiver. You know that they're going to put it on the money to that best receiver. So when you cover a guy and you're in position, you are the receiver now. Because when that ball comes in there, it doesn't matter where he throws it. If he's in the vicinity of his receiver, then I'm going to be the receiver. You understand? If he throws that ball on time the way he always does, and this is what they practice, this is what makes them good, then I'm going to be there to anticipate that move that he made. You basically, they fall into their own traps. This is what we do. We know that's what you do, so that's why I'm here waiting on you. And that's how you make your plays.
See,
you don't make plays on bad passes. You make plays on good passes because you're in good position to make the play.
And I think the other part of it is, and you had this ability, he has this ability to judge the ball in the air. And not only that, but catch it too,
yes,
right?
Very difficult.
Because I'll guarantee you, when they come up and no one knows who anybody is, and they put together a football team, the coach is looking for, if you can catch it, well, you're my receiver, right? And he was a receiver.
As was I.
As was you.
Yeah.
And also the ability to judge the ball from playing baseball. Now, he didn't play baseball.
I was going to say,
but you did.
Everson, you played center field, right?
And just think about Deion Sanders. He played baseball.
Right.
So you have this innate ability to judge the ball in the air. And we saw last year some of his interceptions compared to Trevon's, and it was the ability to judge the ball in the air.
You know
and where it's
going
to come down. Yeah.
And that's
exactly
what we talked about. Because of our experience at wide receiver, we know what they're running. I mean, we've run the route before. The stem is still the same. You know, the little tree for the little routes is still the same. Now, you can put all kind of moves into it there, but you're still going to be at a certain spot at a certain time. So that never changes. And you always remember that as a player. That's the first thing I learned with football was how to run the tree, the route tree. And so now you know what they're doing. I know where to look at it. I know when to look at it. And not only that, talking about playing baseball, I'm sure I've told the story many times. It was in my book. I couldn't see the damn ball in the air. It was moving all over the place when I was in center field. I'm running all on my heels. You know what I mean? I don't know how to. I'm 9 years old, I think. So, I just asked my dad, who was the best coach I've ever had, and he was so simple with it. Son, just run on your toes. So he's probably out there looking at me like, boy, this guy here is an idiot. My son, my father was so athletic, and he looks at me, and the things were so innate to him. Son, just run on your toes, and it was like magic. There it is. The ball, I can see the seams, And next thing you know, I'm Willie Mays. I'm out there catching. I'm catching everything. And so that's, I'm sure, what he went through, what Deion made, you guys as well. There's a point to where, okay, you conquer that. And you're on your way. You conquer that thing that you couldn't do, and you get rid of that, and that's all it was waiting on for the rest of your instincts to kick in. Happens to a lot of kids.
So running on your toes, that keeps your eye level.
It keeps the ball. It keeps your vision from shaking.
Your head's
it's like running with a camera. It's like running with a cell phone, that. So when you run on your toes, it all smooths out. Because otherwise you're running on your heels,
right? And then it's up and down,
right?
Yeah,
so you have to run you have to run as if your legs are shock absorbers.
Mm-hmm.
Bend your knees a little bit. Don't run straight legged. Get on your toes. And Brad Sham, the only guy ever, he said, I knew you were going to get it because your gait changed, and he knew my gait changed. When you saw that, then that means that I'm running, but then when you start looking at the ball, you got to get on your toes. And he saw that difference, and he's the only person to ever see that difference in me, besides my dad.
We talked about the center fielder for the Rangers last week, Eli White.
Man, I was there.
He came up, and we were talking about him. He robbed a Tampa Bay Ray of a home run.
That was so cool.
5 feet over the fence.
I was right
to catch
there.
It, whatever.
I was right there.
He had 2 more catches the other night in Cleveland, and one of them was a diving catch on the warning track where he just had to lay out, whatever. And then another one was a backhanded going the other way where he was able to slide. But to your point on what Brad said, he knew that your gait changed. He knew you were going to make an interception because your gait changed.
Right.
All right, the analytics on that baseball player is apparently, they do all the analytics on how far he had to run, how fast he had to go. And Evan Grant tweeted this out yesterday that the analytics say that the second catch was more difficult than the first catch. But if you watch both catches, it was clear the first catch was infinitely more difficult. He dove on the warning track face first and he snow-coned it, whatever. But on the other one, his gait changed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like Everson intercepted a pass, whatever. So, I mean.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, we all do it. We just don't know we did it. My dad had to tell me, those guys probably, conquered it themselves. They, figured it out. But just so happened I had somebody to tell me, and it made me develop quicker. Good coaching, man. Ain't nothing better than good coaching.
I loved playing baseball. I just loved it. I couldn't get enough.
What position did you play?
Well, I was
not that I'm questioning it.
No, infield.
Yeah, you couldn't I couldn't see him in right field.
No, you were a second baseman.
Second base,
you
shortstop.
Didn't have the arm to play
shortstop until the bases got to be 90 feet. Then my arm wasn't strong enough.
So who were you? What major league player were you?
Louis Aparicio.
Oh man.
I was the same size, right? I batted leadoff because I was small. I can get walks. And then, everybody, infield was the best thing for practice, right? You'd play infield. So then when they hit the outfield, everybody was bored. I'd go out in the outfield and take some fly balls because I just thought that was the cool thing. I wanted to be Jim Landis jumping up on the outfield fence to catch a ball, and then my arm wasn't strong enough.
No, but getting back to Trevon,
yes,
I think this year, I think he's going to be even better. If I compare it to mine after my rookie year, and I'm looking at my rookie year as his second year because he really started to develop this past season, I could see him getting better, getting smarter. I remember after my second year playing, it was a strike year, but I had 7 picks in 9 games, and it wasn't just about the numbers. It was the feel that I had after that rookie year. Giving up a lot of big plays my rookie year. I'm like, I'm not doing that this year. I got even better. And that's without the speed and the ability that he has. I mean, with this guy, he's got it. I think he can run as fast as he wants to.
So remind me, 82, did you play 9 straight games and then the rest got canceled until the playoffs?
I think we played 2, then came back.
No, that was
7.
87. You played 2 in 87 before the strike.
If that's the case, then in 82, no, we did our 9.
9, and then you didn't play, and then they had the tournament, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want me to look it up for you?
Yeah, I think I'm right, though.
All right, you sit there and you talk for 2 seconds.
But no, I truly think
because you know what, that year when the strike happened, so I'm working in Jackson, Mississippi, and NBC, they got no games, right? So they decided they were going to do a Division II game, and it was not Belhaven. It was another small college in
How were
Jackson.
they surprised that we didn't play? How are they surprised?
Well, no, they weren't surprised. They just got to a point they needed to do games.
What did you say in 1982? You played
2 games.
2 games, and then you played 7. And then you
I
said,
thought that was 87. They did 2 in 87.
Ding, 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 ding. Everson was right.
Yeah.
You did 2 and then missed
2 and then came back and did the other 7.
And then the other 7 after missing the 7. Well, in 87 they did 2 and then missed 3 with the replacement players.
Yeah.
And then came back and played the rest of the season. But anyway, they did a small college thing like Division II. They brought in all the broadcasters. They brought in all the TV production to this little field that looked like a high school field, right? And did a game live for television to fill some space on a Saturday or
that
Sunday.
82 game kind of reminds me, 82 season reminds me of what they did with the bubble in the NBA. It was so quick and I don't know, it was like put together at the last minute, seemed like. And as much as I enjoyed that season, I had a hell of a season. And we actually went back to the championship game again. But it just seemed like it was just so abbreviated. It didn't seem like a real season. When you're playing 9 games versus 16, that's kind of weird. I mean, you just can't. Even in high school, you played more games than that, right?
Yeah, and in 87, they actually ended up only playing 15 games because one got canceled before they played the 3 replacement player games.
But I think he's going to come back. I think Trevon's going to be even better. He may not get the picks. I know if they would have played the entire season, I probably would have gotten more than 11. I don't know if he's ready to do that, but I think he has that ability because I promise you, he's seeing things a lot clearer now especially based on that season he had last year. It's not just the confidence that you have. It's that your anticipation seems to get better, and I think his anticipation would be better.
And if we think about it, he only played a couple years at quarterback in college, right? He was a wide receiver.
Right, he was. Yep.
He talked about, before you go, he talked about how many interceptions he missed his rookie year. He said he probably could have gotten 11. I can't remember that many misses, but he's like, if he wouldn't have missed so many, he would have done even better than he did his rookie year.
And I know Everson talks about this, but we don't talk about this enough, that Everson's second year in the league, he only played 9 games and had 7 picks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I say, I know Everson talks about that a lot.
But one reporter, this was for the Hall of Fame, he was, James Lofton told me this. They were in the room talking about voting, and one guy, he only got 7 interceptions his second year. The guy didn't even know it was a strike year.
Wow.
The reporter did.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
Lofton told me he had to chastise the guy. Like, you don't even know what your voter.
Wow.
You don't even know how many games that they're playing.
Well, and the other part of it is I don't understand. Playoff games are more important than regular season games.
Tell me about
And
it.
those don't count
And
in
those
the
don't-
regular
They don't
stats,
count.
right?
They don't count.
They're
And-
extra.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so you think about Charlie Waters. You know, his career
Yep.
was very good, but you look at his playoffs. God damn, this guy's he's like one of the tops in history in playoff interceptions. And who thinks of Charlie Waters when you think of that? But that just goes to show that's the clutch player right there. That's the moment.
All right, we're talking Dalton Schultz and positions of concern when we come back on Mix Shots.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Essilor, whether you're
there you go
watching from home
or cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you'll see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and find the perfect Essilor lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Good job, Spags. Way to go, man.
See, you know, when people like sing songs together, a duet. It was a spot duet right there.
Sure
I don't even have the read back here, and I knew it.
What was going through your mind as you were searching for that copy?
Where's it at? Because I knew it was right in front of me.
Time for Mickey to talk. And,
he's not talking.
Deer in headlights.
I had other stuff on my mind to transition to, like the Cowboys need linebackers, and they worked out a couple guys yesterday.
Okay, did they? Got names?
And also, I do not. And also the fact that they will have Tolbert and Osadigizua back in practice.
Jalen Tolbert, not Tony Tolbert.
Yeah, this week. But they're going to have a bunch of guys out with soft tissue injuries that might be surprising to you guys. So it's like everybody should.
Like today? So when the tweets come out this afternoon at when they can start tweeting what their observations,
guys
we're going to be shocked with the injury reports.
Be working on the chords with Britt. Yeah, absolutely. So there'll be a few guys, and it happens, right? This time of year, and you're not used to doing a lot of football stuff, and you get out there and you strain a hamstring or whatever. So there'll be a couple guys being held down. And I think what they're probably trying to do is hopefully get them ready for the 3-day mini camp to be able. Not that the mini camp practice is any different than these OTA practices, but they probably want them to get in there for that. So they'll be a little bit more conservative with this one that's open to the media in about an hour. Yeah.
Okay, Dalton Schultz. What do you make of the Dalton Schultz situation right now?
Very predictable. We talked about it last week, right? Mm-hmm. Except that they're Johnny-come-lately, because I'll guarantee you the reason that his agent told him no OTAs and we ain't going to minicamp was because the negotiations were stalling. But the problem was they signed the franchise tag. So once you sign the franchise tag, you are guaranteed 1 year, $10.93 million for a tight end, right? And you're obligated to do everything the team does if you're under contract. Now, if you're going to try to create some leverage, don't sign the franchise tag, all right?
Is this unusual? Is this unusual for a player, even though he signed the franchise tag, it feels like he deserves more to make this move? This is not unusual.
It is not unusual, but you should not sign it. Now, he is subject to being fined if he misses minicamp practices, right? Now,
because he's under contract.
Because you're under contract. Mm-hmm. Now, the downside of not signing and trying to continue to negotiate and hold out is they can pull the tag from you.
Right.
And then you're really in trouble. But I'm thinking a guy that in 4 years in the NFL made $3 million, and now he's guaranteed 10.9. He ain't missing anything right now. He might miss practice. That's only going to hurt him, right?
Yeah.
Because if you do end up playing on a 1-year deal, you better have a good year to market yourself for next year, right? Because next year they're probably not going to tag him again, because then it's a 20% increase in what you just made. So this
move that he's making,
it's a little late.
This move that he's making,
it's a statement.
Okay, and has that
I'm
statement,
not happy.
Has that statement, do you think, and has that statement ever worked before?
I don't know that it's changed the dial.
Has that ever worked out?
Depends on how it turns out.
Right.
Like, did you get a long-term deal that you wanted, or did you get a long-term deal that the team wanted? Because I think the Cowboys would like to sign him. We talked about it last week, right? They would like to sign him to a long-term deal because they don't want that cap hit for 1 year to be 10.9. You sign him to a long-term deal, give him a signing bonus. You spread that over the life of, say, 4 years, and his cap hit this year might be $5 million. Because you'll get basically $1 million base salary.
And there is a deadline on that.
Yes, it's got to happen by July 15th.
And even with that, you've got a player that you know is disgruntled. Sometimes this power move might work. And as a player, I'm going to try what I can.
Right.
I retired, so I didn't have to pay fines in training camp. I mean, I was 24 years old. I'm retired.
Retired.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So my thing is, has this ever worked? And I also point out how OTAs can really screw up negotiations, because you really don't know what's going on in the front office between the player and the negotiations.
Right.
And as soon as OTAs come up, whoever doesn't show up, we got a problem. I didn't know we were having a problem with Schultz. Yeah, we're having a problem with Schultz. Because OTAs are coming out. He's not coming. Oh, well, I thought we were cool. No, well, we're not cool. So those OTAs, they can bring up a lot. Aaron Donalds. right?
Oh, look. He was going to retire, right? And I told you last week the reason he was going to retire was because he had 3 years left on his contract. He was going to make $14 million this year, but none of that money was guaranteed anymore, right? And he's going, and I mentioned what he said. He said, "Well, this is not about the money; it's business." And I'm going, "Well, it is about the money, right?
Yeah. Money is the business."
And then suddenly he got a $40 million raise, and over the next 3 years, now all $95 million is guaranteed, and his tune changed to, "Hey, we're going to get back at this and get another ring."
All right.
Yeah. Well,
and then here comes Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, same.
He gets a lot of money as well.
Right, and as an extension with guaranteed money.
But what the OTAs, they bring it all to light.
Because you don't have to be there for the OTAs, right? Remember it was quarterback school?
No, it was voluntarily mandated.
Yeah, voluntary. Right. What do voluntary mean?
So what do you think what's the purpose of Schultz to sit out this week?
Here's what happened, and we talked about it last week. The tight end at Cleveland, Ngochu, however you say it, ended up getting franchised, and they signed him to a 4-year deal averaging $14 million a year. And his numbers were half as much as, and they're negotiating on what they think this guy can be more so than what he did. And I think the Cowboys are looking at it, and they probably think Schultz topped out this year. 78 catches, 808 yards, 8 touchdowns.
I don't know.
Now, can he get better? I don't know.
That's by necessity. There was nobody else open. So that's by necessity that he's catching those passes.
And I don't want to say he's a system tight end, but I think the system helped what was going on.
And he helped the system.
But again, my question is: so what purpose is Schultz? What is his purpose for sitting out this week? And I think one of the reasons might be that you think you can go without me long term,
right?
See what else you got out there on the practice field.
And guess what happened?
And this you get an opportunity throughout for a whole week here to see if you don't have me, not just this year, but going forward next year, what do you have at tight end?
So do you think this was a coincidence? They had one guy of their 9 that hadn't been signed, of their draft choices. And he signed yesterday.
He just signed.
Some guy named Jake Ferguson, tight end in the 4th round.
Some guy. Some guy.
Now, the other side of what you just said, as Parcells would say, the other side of that pancake is, what if they get this guy out here and now he's working with the first team and looks really good?
Let's look at how Schultz got here. Jarman goes down.
He was a 4th round draft pick.
Yes.
4th round draft choice.
I remember we talking about, first of all, I used to love Jarman because Jarman could outmaneuver anybody. Next thing you know, Schultz is doing the same thing, and he was kind of doing it as Jarman was a starter. I remember him making a great 3rd down and 3 catch from that. I mean, we needed it. It was just one of those mini chain movers, but it was Schultz doing it. At that time, he was not a starter. I'm like, wow, this guy's not just a blocker, because at that time, that's what he came in as. I said, this guy has good hands. Sure enough, Jarman goes down. Now he's looking like Jarman.
Right.
So is there another Schultz out there?
They're hoping, I would imagine they're hoping that they can make a compromise and get a long-term deal. And what Schultz's guys are trying to do is get guaranteed money down the line, not just 1 year of guarantee. Because what if something happens?
Yeah.
And now you go into free agency and your market value has just dropped.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah. And that's his right.
Yeah.
Is he going to miss next week though, Mick?
And do what now?
Will he miss next week, though?
Oh, well.
Because next week.
You're subject to being fined if you miss the minicamp.
What's the fine?
No, it's mandatory now on the CBA. If you're not there, you get fined.
That's what I just said.
What's
You're subject. You don't have
fine,
to,
Chris,
right? Yes. First day you missed, $15,980. Second day you missed, $31,980.
What's this arbitrary number? Why are these arbitrary?
And third day you miss is $47,936.
Are those? Okay, so those are on top of each other.
Yes.
Yeah. So $90K.
90, 95, whatever it is. Yeah.
But
now,
to your
I've
point,
seen teams excuse that, but I don't know now that they can't anymore.
You can't.
You can't
It's
anymore.
part of the CBA that if you get fined, they can't. When you sign a contract,
but
they
if
can't
you
do that.
agree
Like,
to a long-term contract, you just
say, okay, just put that in there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what they do, right? So, anyway, so we'll keep an eye on the tight end position today.
Okay. And, positions of concern as we
tight end right now.
And that second tight end, who emerges as a second tight end, is a position of concern.
I mean, is it?
And that's an important position on this team.
If Schultz is there, is it Ferguson? Is Sean McEwen stepping up? Can he do anything?
We're gonna come out in two tight end offense a lot.
Peyton Hendershot, the college free agent out of Indiana,
and they've got Sprinkle and then Ian
Bunting.
So they've got numbers, but again, who can come in as that second tight end and really help you out? And I think that's one of the things, because they love their tight ends. Mike McCarthy loves a tight end, two tight ends in his offense. And, they did it a lot last year, but I don't know how good they were at it, to the point where they sent the guard to tight end, right?
Yeah.
To block McGovern.
The guard that's going to have to start at left guard.
At left guard, right, yeah.
Hey, man, anytime you guys want to talk about that, I can educate you on the importance of what the Cowboys need, okay? Yeah, anytime you're ready.
So, and by the way, he also is working at tackle, too.
You're talking about Tyler Smith, the first-round pick.
So when they give Tyron Smith a break, he doesn't need to be out here for OTAs.
Yeah.
What's he learning, right? So he'll come out and first team, and Tyler Smith will go in there and play left guard, and then left tackle, and then at this point,
have at the line as far as the line's concerned, they just got Tyler in over.
He's second team guard.
Oh, okay.
Connor McGovern's still working with the first team.
Now, Travis Frederick came in here, and he was the first-team center from the day one of OTAs.
That's because they didn't have anybody else to do it.
Okay.
Who were they trying to Who's going at it now besides Biadasz?
At center?
Yeah.
Forniak, last year's 7th-round draft choice, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any good?
He was a guard. They moved him to center. So we'll see. But he's the backup right now. And then McGovern can also do that. And they may put his hand on the ball also once we get to training camp.
So if Tyler Smith does well at guard, then they might.
Then McGovern
they
can play tight end.
Tight end.
Yeah, because
hold on. If Schultz is here first, and then Tyler does well at guard, would you think of put McGovern at center?
They could let him compete, and at least see they need a backup center. They like Biadasz.
And they've been working Braylon Jones there too.
Right.
Okay.
But you also on game day you would love that your backup center can also play guard, Joe Looney.
Yeah.
Right. Then you save a spot on your active list. Right. So if McGovern can do both, that's a bonus. And then the other thing of concern on the line would be, okay, who's my backup? Who's the swing tackle? Right now they think maybe Wilecko, sorry. Yeah. And so now can he do both?
Right.
But they don't know that, and he's a rookie. Is he better than some veteran you can pick up off the street?
You have Josh Ball as well. Man.
And Ball's been playing right tackle the majority of it. So we'll see where that one goes.
All right. So any other positions of concern?
My second wide receiver.
Since Michael Gallup is out right now.
Yeah, is James Washington, can he fill that role? Are we asking too much of Jalen Tolbert to
Didn't
step
he have a
up?
boot on? Didn't James have a boot
He's
on?
out of the boot.
He's out of the boot?
He's out of the boot.
Okay.
He's doing resistance stuff with Britt right now. So maybe he's ready for minicamp. If not, I'm sure they're looking at, would a veteran like that just be ready to start it?
I'm keeping an eye on the waiver wire today.
Okay.
That would be Trevon Howard, the linebacker from the Rams out of TCU.
Okay.
Who actually had the clinching interception in the NFC Championship game. in January, and he was let go by the Rams yesterday because they signed Cooper Kupp to that big contract, and they had to do something with their salary cap. And
they have a salary cap.
He was on the restricted free agent tender, and which is a $2.54 million deal, and which isn't guaranteed. So they just cut him
and decided that if he's going to be a backup linebacker, then 2.5 is too much. I'll find me a young guy for $800,000.
And so they're saying if someone else picks him up off waivers, and if not, then he's free agent and figure out what he goes for then.
And Mickey Tolbert's back at practice, is that correct?
Yes.
I think Dak broke that too, didn't he?
So Tolbert, is he ready to be? And is he the third guy? Right? Is he ready to step into that until Gallup gets back? Who, by the way, now is out there doing grass drills.
They said he's way ahead of schedule.
They're always ahead of schedule. Now, are you ahead to actually put some pads on and actually play football? I'll tell you who's running really well is Jabril Cox. So I think there's a good chance that he could be ready for the start of training camp. If not, they put him on PUP, let him do some stuff for a week and then get him out in pads just to make sure. Because what you want to do is make sure that he can do all that stuff before you say, okay, we're taking him and putting him on the 90-man roster. So,
because if you can if he's not ready, then you keep him on PUP, and that way he can start on PUP at the beginning of the season if it gets to that point. And they've changed the rules on that where it's 4 games they sit out or minimum
6.
They switched it from 6 to 4.
Oh, that's right. With the other thing with the IR.
And that applies to Gallup too, where if he's on PUP, then he doesn't have to sit 6 games before he's eligible to come off. It's 4.
Right.
And so same would apply with Jabril Cox. And that those players don't count against the 53 at the final cutdown day if they're on PUP throughout preseason.
So do you guys have a position you're worried about?
I was alluding to the linebacker position, just depth and so forth, with the Trevon Howard.
Which, by the way, Vander Esch had a really good answer when he was asked something about, it looked like at the end of the season you were coming on. You were being more productive. And he goes, well, that's what you get if you play me the whole game. It's like, oh, okay. And he's right. Because the end of the season, his last 6 games, he had 30 of his 86 tackles, and 21 were in the last 2 or 3 games. Mm-hmm. So he really was playing better.
And the reason on linebacker I say that is
because of Cox, unknown.
Right? And I want to have someone who can play linebacker to free up Parsons when Parsons is not playing linebacker. Where you don't feel obligated that you have to play him at linebacker because you don't have it.
Right.
There's a fall off in ability from where he is.
And the guy that would do that is Cox, but at this point you don't know. I mean, he had 9.
It's a long season.
At this point, you're taking a bunch of linebackers and also safeties
to play
and making them linebackers.
Right.
My concern is who the hell is going to play safety? Because we talked about being able to track that ball down. You can't just use anybody. Our safeties were decent last year, but towards the end of the season, we fell off.
The key thing will be Malik Hooker. Can Malik Hooker now? Remember last year he's coming back from torn Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
Can he get back to that level that was incentive enough for the Colts to use a first-round pick on him, right? Can he play to that level?
Can Marquise
That's right.
be DeMonte and KZ?
And
that's what I want to know.
I think he can.
That's exactly what I – and now – no,
Casey started like 12 games.
And Donovan Wilson, too.
I was in
Are you
the
coming out there to look?
Sir.
Did you see what I saw?
I talked to the defensive coordinator.
Okay.
This guy named Quinn. Right? Some guy named Quinn. No, he really did.
Little insider trading
I
here.
talked to him about Marquise.
Marquise Bell.
I did Marquise Bell. And, of course, he had his idea is I really like to see him in linebacker. Because Quinn loves these hybrid safety linebackers.
Jaron Curse.
Right, of course. But then I want to see more Wilsons. Okay,
Donovan Wilson.
I want to see more Donovan Wilsons back there.
They
guys
stay
that
healthy.
And once again, you're coming from deep. I want you deep first. And I also want those guys that are going to come up and make those plays. He can't stay healthy because he's throwing his body in there so much with reckless abandon, which I love that. So if you're gonna have some safeties, I need some safeties like that, but that can also stay healthy. Marquise Bell might be one of those guys, but you keep changing, and I know it's worked for him. You keep changing these excellent athletic safeties and putting them as a hybrid linebacker. Now you're leaving your safeties. You got some safeties back there who may not be as
and you need so many safety. It's like you can't have enough cornerbacks. Well, now and the way they're playing defense now and these sub packages, you can't have enough safeties on a team.
So did you eyeball Marquise?
I saw him and I asked. I almost said, "Hey, but coach, you know what I mean? You really need to have him." And I had to stop myself because my thing is I'm a safety corner. I want to see somebody go back there and make plays on the ball, which is exactly what I told him. I want to see somebody can make plays on the ball deep. I mean, gather themselves and go up and make the play. I said, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, he can do that. But once again, Quinn loves those hybrids, and he loves putting that pressure on them so the quarterback can't get out like the way he wants to. And it creates matchup problems, of course, in blocking.
Well, we need to keep an eye on 41 today and see what he does, and in the mini camp. And then, they only got one kicker there.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan Garibay.
Texas Tech.
I hear he's kicked pretty well so far. But again, he doesn't have any competition. I saw where who let him? Oh, this guy he's a free agent. He had a Tristan Vizcaino. Yeah, I love that name. He had a workout with New England, and the Ravens were going to bring him in for a workout. But the Cowboys
what
had
do the Ravens need a kicker for?
I don't know. I have no idea. But it said
65
Tucker must be on vacation during.
They need somebody to kick so they don't wear out Tucker in
Tucker's
all this
like, I'm not
silly
showing
stuff,
up.
Right?
They did that as a favor to his agent. Said, "Hey, can you bring my guy in?" Because people will say, "Well, why? If a Raven, they got a great kicker. They're looking at him."
The Cowboys had.
He's got a stand-in kicker.
The Cowboys had Vizcaino in here for 2 or 3 months in 2019 when they were looking for another kicker, and then they cut him right before the draft. So they had seen him before, but I just saw where he's one of those guys that, I mean, he's kicked 6 games with Cleveland, 1 game maybe with the Jets or something like that, and the rest of his time, 6 teams he's been on. Is
that USFL still
practice
playing?
Squad?
Is the US?
Yes, they are.
You
might have to keep an eye on those guys.
Yeah, maybe one of those will free up.
His problem was last year he only made 10 of 15 extra points in those 6 games.
Okay,
we've seen that before.
Yeah, you don't need that again.
Let's end the show on that one, guys.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
All right. OTAs today. Mini camp next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we think.
Excellent.
Okay, and we think we'll have a mix shots next week.
We think.
But
But
until then,
don't count on the day or time.
Until then, have a
week.
great OTA and minicamp.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?